On Sunday, August 15th, 2021, the Governor General of Canada agreed to dissolve Parliament, which leads us into the 44th Canadian federal election, which will be held on September 20th, 2021. This means that parties will have 36 days to make their case to Canadians about why they are the clear choice. Today, we're going to see where we currently sit at the end of week number 1. Our last election was nearly 2 years ago, in October of 2019. Justin Trudeau won his second term, but lost his majority government. In 2021, he looks to regain the majority that he lost in 2019. Conservative Party leader Erin O'Toole looks to spoil the party in his first election as leader of the Conservative Party. Bloc Quebecois leader Y-F Blanchette is looking to run the Liberals out of Quebec and build on his 2019 success story. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh wants to do much better than he did in 2019, where his party spent a massive amount of money on the campaign trail. Green Party leader Annemie Paul will be tasked with trying to figure out what is left of her party and how they will move forward after losing a key seat in Fredericton in the last few months. And finally, PPC leader Maxime Bernier is looking to make some noise and take away votes from O'Toole and the Conservatives, trying to prove that his party is for real. Now, a lot can change in the next month, and while this is going to be a short sprint to the finish line, we are very far away from a result. Here are going to be the key geographical areas of success for each party. We'll start with the Liberals. While seeking that elusive majority, there are some key areas of the country that they will need to win. First, Southern Quebec. After losing quite a few seats to the Bloc in 2019, the ridings surrounding the island of Montreal will be key. Here are some of the ridings I'm thinking of: La Prairie, Montreville, Longueuil-Saint-Hubert, La Pointe-de-l'Île, Thérèse de Blainville, and Rivière-des-Mille-Îles. They're all key ridings to keep an eye on. Second, Ontario. Ontario is another key area, more specifically, the GTA. After finding success there in 2019, it will be critical that they do the same in 2021 and they do not lose any seats to the Conservatives. Now, the Conservatives. First area, also Ontario. It will be their main key to success. They will need to pick up some votes in the GTA that they lost to Trudeau in 2019. As the old saying goes, you cannot win an election without Quebec and Ontario. Any toss-up ridings in Ontario will need to be won by O'Toole if he wants to have a chance to knock off Trudeau. The second area is the West. Given the current polls, the odds are stacked against them at this point, but still a lot can change. In 2019, we saw a nearly clean sweep of the West by the Conservatives. Every seat in Saskatchewan and all but one in Alberta was won. They need this to stay the same because every single seat will matter. The margin of error will be really low. I would be keeping an eye on the ridings surrounding Edmonton and Saskatoon because currently there are a couple toss-ups, or there will be a couple toss-ups in those areas. Now, the Bloc. Obviously, we're staying in Quebec for this one. All the ridings that I mentioned before for the Liberals will be equally as important for the Bloc. The Bloc does have the advantage as they will have the incumbents for those races, but still, they still will be important. And another key area of Quebec will be the capital region, typically dominated by the Conservatives. If the Bloc want to continue to expand, they will have to target them. They have to convince Quebecers that they truly have what is best for them. Will not be an easy task. We saw on day one, Blanchette and crew were in the Papineau riding of Trudeau. They aren't messing around here. After a disappointing 2019, Singh will need to make up a bit of ground everywhere. His seats are spread out across the country, but it's worth noting that east of Ontario, he only currently has 2 seats, one of which in St. John's will be a very close race. His core being in the lower mainland of BC, it will be important for him to maintain those seats and to branch out east, more so than he already has. Northern Ontario will be very important to his success as well. Now, for the Greens. This election will be critical for the Green Party. After losing their seat in Fredericton, since their candidate and their elected official crossed over to the Liberal Party, their resources are spread thin, and many people in Canada see the party as dying. It will be a struggle for Paul to even win her own seat, as she faces a former TV host in Marcy Ian. If the party has any future at all, especially with Paul as the leader, she absolutely needs to win her own seat. And lastly, the PPC. To me, this has the potential to be one of the more interesting stories of the election. What can Bernier steal from the Conservatives? Can he actually win his own seat in Beauce? Could he potentially do better than the Green Party, since some polls currently show them as tied or just have a very small gap? I'll be really interested to see if this is all just going to be noise or if he's going to have a serious role moving forward. Only time will tell. If the PPC is to have any success, it's going to start with Bernier winning his own seat. That's a given. With all that said, here's where we stand at the end of week number 1. Currently, I use 338 Canada to sort of gather my polling information. I find it a very interactive and user-friendly, and historically, it's been a pretty accurate site for predictions. I know the Nova Scotia election last week, that was way off, but generally, I think the average is around 90% for how accurate it is. If you want to check out the site, I highly recommend it. It's not sponsored, obviously, or anything. It's just a site I use. So, according to 338, right now, on Saturday, August 21st, the Liberals stand at 34.3%, Conservatives 30.4%, NDP dead even at 20%, the Bloc 6.6%, but 28.3% in Quebec, the Green 5.1%, and the PPC at 2.7%. It's still very early in this short campaign, and this thing is very far from over. Mistakes will be costly for whoever makes them, and we've already seen that in week 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little different, and I was kind of hesitant to make it since politics can be such a nasty environment to be in. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for or anything like that. I'm just interested in the numbers, the geography behind everything. If you want to see more videos like this over the course of the next month, let me know. I could make one every week or something like that, just breaking down how things are looking in each area of the country. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.